is another Drive Time Dialectic here on the Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, or MBRR podcast, as everyone is coming to get used to calling it, mostly because I refer to it that way myself most of the time. But yeah, here we sit. I'm going to do my opening shilling and commentary and whatnot while we wait for some people to tune in, while the notifications come in on a rare Friday night Drive Time Dialectic. Friday evening, excuse me. It's not really night for most of you. But yeah, here we sit. Friday evening Drive Time Dialectic. We're going to tell a little bit of an amazingly chilling story, if you will. But before we get going too far into it, hey Lou, thanks for stopping in and moderating as always. And if you would, please, if you got a way to share this out, please do, because we really do need attention on this, and it ties into everything we've been talking about. It's a gift that keeps on giving. But yeah, for those of you that are listening in for the first time, if you haven't hit the subscription button yet, make sure that you do that. And then if you have subscribed, get that little bell icon up, and make sure you get people that they're not getting notifications that I'm live until like 2-3 hours live, which I know from personal experience happens a lot with the people that I am subscribed to. And if you're a member and you are still a current member, thank you very much if you bought that membership yourself, and if you have received a gift membership from one of the several people, the Angry Vet and a few others who have given gift memberships, please head over to the Angry Vet or to whoever gave you the membership and throw them a subscription and tell them thank you. And if you were a member on a gift membership and your membership has expired, I would encourage you to come back over and sign up for a membership on your own. It has helped me a lot with keeping things going and taking some pressure off in some areas where I really needed the pressure off. And I cannot thank the members and the people who do gift memberships enough. And if you're one of those who just want to, yes, the Angry Vet is a righteous dude. I love that guy. Yeah, I cannot say enough about Kevin, about Taft. So enough positive. I could say some negative things. You know, like, have you seen his face? Now you know why the beard explains a lot, right? But anyway. Yeah, so pick a membership level and help me keep my stuff going. And then after this is done, go into the description of the video and please, by all means, reach out to the person on or in the description who I left a phone number for, and we'll get there in just a minute. So I see we've got Elva Caro as a TC, as a former officer, and I said 42 USC section 19. Would you know what I'm talking about? For the most part, I don't have it all memorized, Elva Caro, but yeah, I do. And Lou Skunt definitely knows. But yeah, anyway, we're getting a few more people, so folks, share this out, and now we're going to get down to the meat of it. Here we go. Strap in, belt in, whatever the case might be, and then help me push this out into the algorithm as we go, because this fell in my lap this morning and I wasn't even planning on it. So, backstory. Many of you know I told Chase Johnston's story. We had him on for an interview. He caught a deputy, former deputy now, Matt Adamson, trying to meet with underage girls for sex. May of 2022. Took my advice, turned over copies of his evidence to the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department. Rochester, Minnesota Police Department took that evidence and went nowhere with it. Came out later on that ultimately there was nowhere for it to go. They couldn't do anything with it, but they did turn over a report about the situation to Sheriff Kevin Torgerson, my former sheriff, the guy I worked for almost, well, I didn't work for him for 13 years, but the last several years of my burgeoning career with the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office. But they did turn that information over to Sheriff Kevin Torgerson. Year and a half goes by. They finally catch Adamson in what appears to be an accidental sting, right? News breaks that Chase was one of the first people to catch him and that nothing happened. Rochester Police Department, along with the Olmsted County Attorney's Office, labeled Chase a vigilante. Nobody does anything. Nobody admits that they screwed up. Nobody does anything at all about any of that. So now we're a little bit caught up. Chase busts another predator. Rochester Police Department Sergeant Ben Schlag steps in, and this was just last summer. Instead of arresting the predator, who has felony convictions for child molestation, it did prison time. Instead of arresting that predator, they arrest Chase and charge him with felony level stalking. And so it wasn't so much an accidental sting as they accidentally caught him, Lou, which is the understanding that everyone has. Even if they were targeting him, it went on a year and a half. And so Chase catches another predator. Chase gets arrested. The predator goes free. Chase is now going to trial in September on this felony level stalking charge, right? So now, fast forward to just last month, middle of the month of May, a Minnesota State Patrol trooper is involved in a fatal accident at an intersection with eyewitnesses, and one of those eyewitnesses has reached out to me saying the trooper was speeding. He was not running lights. Now, I don't have any video evidence of this. I'm going off of word of mouth from people that I'm hearing from who witnessed the accident, that the trooper was not running code and the trooper was driving recklessly and killed someone. It was not announced until last Wednesday, June 5th, that the trooper was placed on paid administrative leave. Paid administrative leave. There's a place for it, folks. Having myself been run through the ringer by a system that was out to get me, paid administrative leave kept me living and putting food on the table when I had done nothing wrong. And if you're not familiar with that story, you can go look up my playlist telling the story of the attack on my First Amendment enshrined free speech, and how Kevin Torgerson came for me. Just let all that sink in. Protects the sex predator, but comes for me on First Amendment stuff during the COOF pandemic. So anyway, this trooper is involved in this fatal accident. State Patrol can't investigate it because it was one of their guys that was involved. So Rochester Police Department is assigned to investigate this fatality. They have been very tight-lipped. They barely have released the name of the trooper. I found out today that the girl, the victim's family, and I am not going to say her name. I perhaps will link the article that I saw. Not because I don't care about her, but I don't know this young lady well enough to feel like it's my place to say much about her, other than she is a victim. It's a tragic situation, and she is a victim. Now, as many of you know, I have numerous videos on my channel of law enforcement in my area speeding, driving recklessly, driving distracted, and a video that I just put up the other day shows a trooper speeding. And then pulling someone over. Now, I don't know the story on that, but what I will tell you is he was traveling at a high rate of speed, evidence. No pursuit of this person. I don't know what to tell you other than if he was in pursuit of this person, he could have hurt a lot of people. Now, some of you are tuning out. I get that. But here's what happened. Back right after the accident where the trooper kills this gal, a concerned local citizen, and I don't like to use the word citizen, but it's the best way to describe the situation right now. A concerned local citizen had been on social media posting about and asking questions about the investigation into Deputy Matt Adamson, asking questions about how the investigation into the trooper and what was being done to ensure that justice was being served. And this person is upset. They are upset. They feel like things are being swept under the rug. And I'm paraphrasing a much longer conversation that took place throughout the day. But this person is very upset. They want some answers, and I think we should all want some answers about this. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live in Minnesota, Iowa. I don't care if you live in Montana or Massachusetts. I don't care if you live in Florida or Alaska or Hawaii. We should, all of us, whether we recognize it or not, we all, as tax slaves, as wage slaves, our money goes nationwide through law enforcement funding grants and programs and all of that stuff. All of that money goes nationwide to help law enforcement do their job. It's one of the ways that law enforcement is held under the thumb of the feds. And it's one of the ways that local government, and you guys know how I feel about that word, but it's one of the ways that local government is also held under the thumb of the feds. They do what the feds say, or they don't get their funding for different programs. So we should all be interested in stories where law enforcement are under investigation, no matter what, whether it's an on-duty activity or if it's an off-duty activity that's not related to their official capacity. We should all be asking these questions. All of us, every single one of us should be asking these questions, whether it be through social media, whether it's going to county board meetings or city council meetings or to our state law enforcement agencies. We should be asking these, and that's what this concerned citizen was doing. This concerned citizen was asking questions on social media on a regular basis. What's the status of this investigation? What's going on with this trooper? Are we going to get any idea of what actually happened? Was a trooper responsible for the accident? Is a trooper looking at losing their job? Whatever the case might be. What actually happened? What's going on? When are we going to get answers? Why did you let Deputy Matt Adamson slip through the cracks for a year and a half? Why does it seem like Rochester police and other local law enforcement agencies do not treat sex offenders as seriously as they should? Happens constantly. We should be asking these questions. And that's what this person was doing. Now, I want you to imagine that you're at home, May 21st, a week after this accident. After asking these hard questions, after seeking a redress of grievances with your local government, and your phone rings, and you miss the call, you pick it up, and you listen into the message, and you're like, oh, so you call back, and it's an attorney. And the attorney identifies herself as the risk management attorney for the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department, calling the direction of the mayor of the third largest metro area in the state of Minnesota. Because that's what happened to this concerned citizen. This concerned citizen got a phone call from the attorney representing the Rochester Police Department at the command. Say, well, you're being hyperbolic. It was a command. I don't know if anybody else has ever thought about this, but when the mayor, your employer, and I know we're supposed to be the employers, But when the mayor picks up the phone and calls you or sends you an email or whatever and tells you, I need you to reach out to this person and talk to them about their social media posts, you do that. And we know why this happens, because people are out there protecting their jobs, right? We know that people are into protecting their jobs. And that's as true for law enforcement as it is for the janitor in the building, as it is for the admin guy who just pushes, who's a pencil pusher and paperwork grunt. They are into protecting their job. They don't ask about whether or not what they're being asked to do is a violation of a person's civil rights. We don't know if it's a violation of U.S. code, or we don't care. We just do what we're told to do. We do what we're asked to do. Whoops, I gotta keep my hands on it. That's what we do when we work in the public sector. We just do as we're commanded, just following orders. And that's what this attorney did. And her name and her phone number are in the description of this video. Sarah begins to let this concerned citizen know, look, you don't know all the facts of these situations. You don't know all the facts of the case of Deputy Matt Adamson. This is an open investigation. You don't have any information that should cause you to want to ask these questions. And I'm paraphrasing and I'm elaborating a little bullet points. And you know that we can't tell you everything about an open investigation. Well, what's funny about that is that open investigation has been widely reported in the media, and they're getting their stuff from law enforcement. So this individual, this concerned citizen, is reading what the media is putting out there and saying, I would like more answers. I would like to know more of why this deputy was allowed to go a year and a half. And this attorney's response is, well, you don't have all the answers. You don't know everything that's going on. So you should wait for the trial to come out. And then you might be surprised about what you find out. Now, I'm going to say something here. Let's give the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department the benefit of the doubt. And that this attorney's right. That we don't have all the answers and that we might be surprised about what we hear during the trial. Let's say that's a fact. Let's say for a minute that they're right. Let's just say that. Let's say that they couldn't, and that was the thing, something about the way the evidence was turned over, it wasn't turned over in a way that it was usable. Okay, is that the fault of Chase Johnston, who did what he thought was his civic duty and he turned it over to law enforcement, and then they determined it wasn't usable? When other agencies have used Chase information, Dodge County, Minnesota used Chase's information from undercover sting operations that Chase conducted to convict a child predator. They got evidence that Chase helped them get. So let's just say it's true that the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department couldn't use the information because it wasn't handled correctly. And let's just jump to a conclusion and say that they had Deputy Matt Adamson on their radar for a year and a half before they could finally get him. Let's just say that's true. And this attorney can't tell us that information. That's a year and a half that this deputy was allowed to go under their watchful eye, because this is best case scenario. Under their watchful eye, he was allowed to go on victimizing people in that year and a half, because we know that people have come forward and said that they have been victimized by him. We know that he victimized women in the adult detention center by taking pictures of them in various stages of undress. So between the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department and the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office, they allowed this man to go on victimizing them to what? Bolster their investigation? And then set him up on a sting through the Whisper app, which, by the way, is out there in public. That's information that the media has put out that they got from law enforcement, that they busted him on Whisper, posing as underage girls on Whisper. That's what they said. That's the information that they gave. They also gave out the information that the sheriff knew about Adamson and did nothing. And the sheriff's not once made a public statement about this other than on their social media site for the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office saying former Deputy Matt Adamson is no longer employed with this agency. So this attorney calls this concerned citizen up and says, you don't have all the information. You should probably wait to form an opinion. You should probably wait to make a judgment. But it doesn't end there. Then they say the same thing about the state patrol officer who's under investigation for the fatal accident that he was involved in. Telling this individual that you don't have all the information. You don't know everything that's going on, so you need to not form an opinion about that as well. But here's where the worst of it comes in, folks. Here's the mind-blowing part of this. This attorney, Sarah, I think it's Claymore, told this concerned citizen, here's my phone number. The next time you have questions, instead of posting on social media, call me and I will address your concerns. Instead of putting everything out on the internet, you call me. Now, some of you are going, well, hey, she's opening up a door for communication. No, she's not. That's not opening up a door for communication. I asked this concerned citizen, how did that make you feel? What was your gut response? And their gut response was intimidation. That was this person's gut response. They felt intimidated. That they're being watched. That they're being handled. That they're being controlled. That the mayor calls this attorney for the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department, acting in an official capacity as a lawyer, as an attorney for the Rochester Police Department, at the command of the mayor, picks up the phone and calls this concerned citizen. It gets worse. She never asked for a phone call. Hey, flying auditor, I see you and you got a real sick wife. I hope that it's, let us know how we can pray for you. Send positive thoughts and prayers if you would. Please, everybody, if you're the kind of person that prays, if you're the kind of person that sends positive thoughts and prayers, send them towards Flying Auditor and his wife. He's a great supporter of the channel and a member. And so, that's, this is what we do in this community, folks. Be praying for Flying Auditor and his spouse. So, this concerned citizen never asked for a contact as far as, hey, call me. Never asked for contact. This concerned citizen never said, hey, could you please reach out to me? I'd like to talk to someone on the phone. The mayor apparently selected this individual, culled this individual out of the herd of people, and said, hey, attorney for the police department, you need to call this person and deal with this. Now, I do the nerdy push. The worst part, she never gave anybody her phone number. Now, this day and age, hard to say how they got it. Folks, I want you guys to let this sink in, and then I need your help helping me get this. People, we need to get attention on this. I know it's not sexy. I know all of this stuff isn't sexy compared to all the other things that are going on. But folks, I am up here fighting this fucking battle by myself with one or two other people. And this is how they're treating people. This poor concerned citizen has never run afoul of the law. Like, I bring heat on myself. People like Tav, now that he's on the radar, and I talked to Tav today on the phone about this. Like, we know, like, what we do at this point, we're bringing heat on ourselves. We get it. We understand. Flex Your Freedoms from down in Iowa. He brings heat on himself. We understand that. We know it's a risk that we take. Every video I make talking about these things, I'm potentially bringing heat on myself. I want them to call me. I want them to call me up, because I'll record that motherfucking phone. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. I will record that phone call, and I will put it out. But see, that's how I think. That's the way that I operate. That's my modus operandi. I don't trust anybody in the state. I don't trust anybody in the state. I'm a small government guy. I'm a small government conservative, paleo-libertarian, paleo-conservative. I'm like ultra small government, like very small, right? I don't trust anybody. And that extends to the cops. Loose Skunk says, calm down, bro. No, bro. But they are targeting people. And I do not believe for a minute that if it happened to this concerned citizen, it isn't happening to other concerned citizens. So if you're a concerned citizen who has gotten messages on Facebook, phone calls from the Rochester, Minnesota Police Department attorney for risk management, or from the mayor's office, you reach out to me and you let me know. We'll address it again. Because this shit happens way too much. People don't understand it. It happens continuously across the country. This isn't just a Rochester issue. This is a United States issue. And I'd like to say republic, but folks, I don't think we live in a republic anymore. I really don't. I'm pretty sure we don't even live in a republic anymore. I'm pretty sure that we just live in a democratic dictatorship. I'm 100% positive of that now. But like I said, I want you guys to think about this poor person, this poor concerned citizen, just asking questions. They're just asking questions. They just want to know what's going on. And the mayor reaches out to the police department, talks to an attorney. An attorney has the attorney call this person who didn't request a phone call and never gave their phone number. And this person's like, I have a squeaky clean record. And now they're on the radar. That's asinine. You want to come for me? Come for me. Damn it. I don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care. I have responsibilities. I have, people and things that I need to take care of. I get it. But when I say I don't care, what I'm saying is like, I'll tangle with you. You want to have a philosophical, you want to have a debate about my rights there, city attorney, or Rochester Police Department. You want an attorney, Sarah, from the Rochester Police Department, Mayor Kim Norton. You want to have a debate about whether or not we have a right to ask questions or say things on social media about how we feel about how you, our public servants, are behaving and how you're handling things. You want to have a conversation about that? Come at me. Come at me. But you don't have the balls to come at me, because I'll stand up to you. I'll record the phone call. I'll record the phone call like I did for Sergeant Ben Schlegg when he threatened to have charges pressed on me for filing a false police report against the university president back in January of 2023. So they covered for him and then threatened me with charges for filing a false report, which I don't have the money to hire an attorney to fight that crap. So instead of saying, well, go ahead, charge me, and then we'll see you in court, I just forget it, right? But come at me, but they won't, because they know I'll fight back, because they know I'll record calls and I'll release them, because they're public servants and they don't have a right to that privacy when they're conducting themselves as public servants. So they go after the ones that they can intimidate. And that shit's got to stop. The fact that the freaking mayor of the third largest metro area in the state of Minnesota Minnesota even had the time to notice that and then sic an attorney on this concerned citizen, that should piss off every single person in the country. Like, you want to be mad about how the J6ers are being treated? Be mad about how they're being treated. Be mad about that. Absolutely be mad about that. But they're going to keep doing this to as many people as they can because people feel intimidated and they stop holding them accountable, which is what they want. That's what they want. That's their tactic. That's what they're looking for. So guys, I really do need your help helping this concerned citizen. And when this person's ready, if they're ready and they want to come on and talk about their experience, we'll bring them on. But right now they're like, I need to protect my family. So folks, I'm telling you, I do not believe for a minute that this is the only time this has happened. So like I said, folks, I need your help. Push this out. Go into the description of the video. There's a link to Mayor of Rochester, Kim Norton. There's a link to her Facebook page. The phone number for the Sarah, for the attorney of the Rochester Police Department, her phone number is in there. She says, hey, if you have questions, call me. So folks, let's call her. Let's call her, folks. Let's call this attorney for the Rochester Police Department Risk Management, and let's talk to her. Let's ask her hard questions like, why would you follow an order from the mayor? Give us information so that we don't have to feel like you're hiding things about why you guys covered for this deputy. Give us information about the investigation into the state trooper. Let's call her. We don't need to be rude. We don't need to be impolite. We don't need to be uncivil. We can be all of those things and we can still make our point. You want to do that? You want to reach out to this person and make this person feel intimidated? You want to reach out to this person on the behest of the mayor and tell this person that they don't need to be saying this stuff on social media? That's fine. Then we'll register our complaints with you. Right? We can register our complaints with you. How freaking dare you, public servants, right? Tell somebody, no, you call me. Don't go out on social media. You just talk to me. So folks, I need your help. Push this out into social media. Send this out to people who are like-minded. Let's bring some pressure on them about this. That's what we need. That's what we really need, that. And I'm going to wrap this up here, folks. If you would, please, if you've received a gift membership from somebody, head over and give them a thank you for the gift membership. If you had a gift membership and it's expired, please come on back and hit that membership tab and join. But more importantly, help me help these people. Help me help these people, because they don't know how to help themselves in these situations. They don't know how to respond because it is intimidating. They feel powerless when this happens to them. And if you're one of those people, if you're someone who has had contact with the city of Rochester about your social media, please, please, please reach out to me. You can reach me at mbrrpodcast@yahoo.com. I would love to hear from you. And if you're the city of Rochester and you want to hear from me, shoot me an email. You could probably find my phone number too. I'm going to record it when we talk, just so you know, and I'm going to put it out. Chris, there are links and the phone number in the description of the video. So if you go to the description of the video, you can find them. Folks, this stuff's really important. Like I said, when I ask you to become a member, when I ask you to send super chats or things like that, I'm not doing it just for me. It just does help me keep things going. It helps me pay for my internet and my electricity. It really does. That's like what I'm asking for. It's just so I can keep things going. Because, as many of you know, when I was forced out of my career with the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office, the same area where this city is, when I was forced out, I lost 75% of my income. So things like super chats and video views, like Elva Carl said, like the video, yes, like, push this into the algorithm. Things like that absolutely do help me bring in some income through generating that through views and likes and memberships. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this. The story is not going to go away. I can guarantee it. It's going to keep going. I was not expecting this morning. I was not. Oh, hey, man, thanks a lot, the Bip Solar Bear. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. I wish I could show it, but Bip just sent me a super chat, so thank you very much. Every bit helps. I was not expecting that this morning. This was not how I wasn't planning on doing anything other than my police use of force review video with the guys over at We the People stream tonight. So this was a last minute thing, not last minute, but was unexpected for me this morning. So any help you can give me to get this out into the ether, I would very much appreciate it. Drive this up in the algorithm, come back, comment, like, all of that stuff. My friends, I'm gonna go. I gotta go put some miles on before I do my thing tonight. So as always, I love you guys. I appreciate the support, every single, even views, all of that. Your friend at APD got pushed out because he is a good cop. He now works for Santa Fe PD. Larger blue urban PDs are trying to get rid of the good ones. Absolutely. And it's bleeding down into the smaller areas as well. County sheriffs as well. I hate to say it. So yeah, anyway, I really appreciate all of you. Every single view, every single like, every single comment, super chats and memberships and all of that, every share, all of it helps, and I'm very appreciative. So until next time, my friends, fight for your liberty is yours. Fight for your freedom, it belongs to you. And sic semper tyrannis.